I genuinely think that every single person needs to live like this at some point in their life. Living off of 1,000 euros a month taught me more in that single year than I had learned in my whole life, throughout college, through high school, everything that I was capable of, and honestly how little that you really need to be happy. And I took those lessons that I learned in that year forward with me, and it really defined how I live my life now, how I spend my money, how I perceive money, and also how I perceive myself and what I'm capable of with whatever I have. Because I know that it doesn't take much to be happy, and if I do have excess, now I can use that money towards things that will, one, better me, or two, help me be more stable and secure in my own finances in the future. So this is kind of how I was able to live off 1,000 euros a month, and how you can too. I actually use these practices today in my life, and also when I was living in Mexico a year ago. I have a whole series of about 40 videos on Mexico where I moved there to teach or I didn't move to Mexico to teach English. I moved there working my corporate job after I finished teaching English in Spain, and I still lived in a very similar way. And instead of not having enough money, I rather put the extra money that I was earning into investments, finances, and also into building my own business, which I'm doing now, which I do travel consultations and clarity consultations. So you can actually book those with me down below, and I can help you set up a plan on how you can move abroad, plan your vacation, start traveling, start budgeting, and preparing an exit plan to leave your job if you want to make a change. So let me know if you have any questions about that, and we can talk some more. But in this video, I'm going to talk about living off 1,000 euros a month, how I did it, and why you should live this way even if you don't need to. But before we begin, I would love if you could give this video a big thumbs up, hit subscribe, and hit the bell if you haven't already. I put out 2 videos a week, and I am really ramping it up now, so super excited to be sharing a lot of good information. So my first piece of advice would be to keep your expenses low. So I would suggest house hacking. You can do this by having roommates. When I was living in Spain, I had 2 roommates. They were from the Philippines, and it worked out super great. My rent was around 200 euros a month, which is insane. And I lived with my 2 roommates who were also English teachers, and they actually did a lot of private lessons outside of the schools that we taught at. We all taught at different schools. That earned them some extra money on the side. I did a couple private lessons as well, which earned me an extra 15 euros an hour, but I only did 1 or 2 a week, so that was only an extra 30 euros a week, but that still was a significant amount to me because I was earning 1,000 euros a month. So that made me have a little bit more wiggle room if I wanted to eat out or get a coffee or buy something. I had that spare change to work with. But keeping your expenses low, I think the main thing to focus on are what are your biggest expenses. Of course, rent is going to be one of them. If you have a car or car payments, that is another one. I was actually still paying off my car while I was in Spain, but I came to Spain, 1, debt-free, and 2, with savings. So I genuinely believe that there is no better feeling than being debt-free. There is no purse, no piece of clothing, no electronic item that I can think of that would make me feel better than the feeling of being debt-free, personally. But I think that if you want to go teach English in Spain, or if you want to do anything like this, manage your finances before you go into it. You don't want to go there and be struggling and having to make credit card payments or whatever it is. You want to be there, and you want to be living in the moment and watching how you're spending your money, of course, but also not having to worry about your finances back home. So making sure your expenses are low. Get roommates. I would highly suggest getting roommates. One, if you're moving to a new country, it's nice to know someone. It's nice to have someone there. You don't have to hang out with them all the time, but you will have a significantly cheaper rent if you have a roommate. And also a big reason a lot of people go to Europe, and I know why I went to Europe, is to travel, and I was able to do that because I had roommates, because that really lowered the price of my rent. I would have paid around 600 euros to 700 euros a month for rent if I didn't have roommates. So I was able to put that money into my travels rather than spending it on living alone and probably being more lonely. My second tip is to enjoy the simple pleasures of Spain. You don't need to spend a lot of money to have a good time in Spain. The average salary in Spain is around 27,000 euros, which is really not that high. And the cost of living in Spain is much lower because of this as well. I think that Spain is such a great example of a country where the people are so happy. They live life to the fullest. They genuinely live in the moment, and I think we can all learn from their lifestyle because they don't have to worry, or they don't typically worry about how much money they're making or how much they're saving or how much they're about the future. They're not constantly worrying about the future. They are living in the moment. They are taking a nap in the afternoon. They are having lunch with their family. They are going outside and going for walks with their families. They're making these memories, and I think that is priceless. And I picked up that Spanish lifestyle while I was there. Yes, I took a lot of siestas. I rested. I went on long walks with my friends. We went to the grocery store and bought our groceries together, and then we'd go back to one of our apartments and we would cook dinner together, and all of these things that don't really cost a lot of money, but they were the best memories of my life, genuinely of my life. And you can see all of these memories I made in my vlogs because I was vlogging the whole time I was there. That's actually when I started doing YouTube. So if you want to check those out, they're all here on YouTube. You can see my crazy adventures. But living in the moment and just having a fun time with your friends does not have to be expensive, and I still take that to heart today. I go on walks. I like to just call up my friends. I like to just hang out, do things that don't cost money. I love going to the grocery store. I love cooking. I love doing all of these little simple pleasures, and I think the sooner that you realize that you don't need a lot to have fun or to make memories, the happier you will be. Another tip I have is to be frugal, to think about where you're spending your money. Is it worth it? Do you really need it? And this isn't only good to save money, but it's also good to remove clutter from your life, because I personally feel like I have too many things. I travel so much. Every time I move, it's like I have so many things to move or get rid of, and I literally got rid of everything. Like in the past 5 years or so, each time that I move countries or I travel, like I just moved here to Vancouver, Canada, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So before I left Austin, and I have a whole vlog on moving and everything if you want to watch that, I got rid of so many clothes. I donated them, I sold things, I just let them go because that's old energy that I don't really need anymore. And I think it's super important to take this into account when you are buying things. Do you genuinely really need something, or are you just buying it for instant gratification or whatever it is? And that's something that I took with me from Spain, is that I didn't need a lot, so I didn't buy a lot, and I was happy as I was. So that's another thing to think about. And the last thing that I want to talk about is that 1,000 euros isn't a lot of money, but it is enough money. However, there are hundreds of ways now to make money online while you are traveling or in a different country. And since I taught English in Spain, I have picked up a lot of these methods on earning money and investing and doing these things, so that way I can earn money while I am traveling or move to any country and work remotely. I wanted to share some of them with you. I do have separate videos on this topic exactly, so if you want to check that out down below, I go deeper into it over there. But you can trade stocks, you can trade cryptocurrency. I do both of those. I don't day trade, but I buy and hold and trade here and there, and that is a great way to build your wealth. You don't want to be taking these profits all the time, but you can definitely do it if you are trained and willing to learn. There are so many skills that you can learn. You can take a course on. Some courses are paid, some are free, and you can take these skills with you wherever you go and work remotely. You can get jobs on Upwork, Fiverr, whatever it is, and do contractual work from wherever you are, whether it's copywriting, whether it's graphic design, video editing, whatnot. You can teach English online, which I talk about a lot. Another thing is social media. You can make money off of social media. You can create a product, you can do e-commerce, which is what I'm trying to do, or not trying to do, which is what I am doing right now. Actually, I'm going to launch my first product on Amazon in about a month, and I have other videos on Amazon FBA if you want to watch those to learn more about that. And if you want to be updated about my Amazon product, follow me and you will see here. I will also be talking more about it on Instagram and TikTok, so follow me there as well. But there are so many ways that you can make extra cash online. Remember, going to these places and traveling and having these experiences, they don't have to cost a lot. I couch surfed throughout my time in Spain when I was traveling to different countries, and you can figure it out. You just have to be really creative. You have to think outside of the box, and you have to be open-minded, because living like this isn't for everybody, but I think it should be. I think everyone should open their mind to living like this for some time in their life, whether you are making a lot of money or whether you are making no money. But it really puts things into perspective and really makes you appreciate everything that you have and live in a better and more healthy way. So I hope this video was really helpful. If you are moving to Spain or planning to do the auxiliar program, let me know down below. I love connecting with my fellow auxes, and also if you have done the program in the past, I'd love to know as well. And if you have any questions about travel, moving abroad, how to do it, or creating a plan, once again, I give travel consultations and you can book one with me. We'll go on Zoom, we'll flesh out your whole plan, your desires, what you want to do with your life, and then we'll create a plan for you that's customized to get you to reach your goals, because I think travel is the most important thing in the world and everyone needs to do it, and it isn't hard to do if you know how to, and you don't need a lot of money either. So let me know if you have any questions. Once again, give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and let me know what you want to see from me next. I love getting recommendations or getting questions from you guys because it really points me in the right direction. The sun is setting here in Vancouver, so I'm gonna head out, but I will leave you with this beautiful sunset.